The salesman's smile disappeared the moment he saw the old pickup truck pull into the luxury dealership parking lot. Dust covered the faded blue paint. One headlight flickered weakly. The engine rattled loudly before shutting off near a row of polished sports cars worth more than most houses. Customers in expensive suits glanced over briefly before looking away with quiet amusement. Then the driver stepped out holding the hand of a little girl wearing a backpack covered in cartoon stickers. The man's boots were worn. His flannel shirt carried grease stains near the sleeves. His face looked exhausted from years of hard work and sleepless nights. Before he could even walk fully into the showroom, the salesman blocked his path with a cold expression and delivered the words that would change everyone's lives inside that building. "You can't afford these cars." The little girl lowered her eyes instantly in embarrassment. Several nearby customers laughed quietly. But less than 10 minutes later, the dealership manager would walk across the showroom floor, freeze in complete shock, and call the struggling single father something nobody expected. "Boss. If you believe kindness, humility, and second chances still matter in this world, take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Moments Hub for more emotional and inspiring stories." Ethan Carter never imagined life would become this difficult. At 38 years old, the single father worked long hours restoring damaged vehicles at a small repair garage outside Dallas while raising his 9-year-old daughter Lily alone. Years earlier, Ethan owned one of the most respected custom automotive shops in Texas. Collectors traveled across multiple states to hire him because of his rare talent rebuilding classic cars that other mechanics considered impossible to save. Back then, life felt stable. His wife Sarah handled business operations while Ethan worked endless hours inside the garage they built together from nothing. Their small company slowly grew into a respected name among collectors and performance enthusiasts. Every evening after work, they dreamed together about eventually expanding into luxury restoration projects and opening dealerships carrying their own custom brand. Then everything changed. Sarah became seriously ill unexpectedly. Medical bills arrived faster than customers. Ethan sold equipment first. Then tools. Then parts inventory. Eventually he sold the entire garage trying desperately to save his wife. It still was not enough. After Sarah passed away, Ethan lost not only the business but also the confidence he once carried proudly. Debt buried him completely. Friends disappeared quietly. Investors stopped answering calls. The only thing Ethan refused to lose was Lily. So he started over from nothing. He accepted repair work at small garages, restored damaged vehicles privately during weekends, and drove his old pickup truck across the city delivering parts late at night to cover bills. Some weeks he barely slept more than a few hours. But every morning, he still packed Lily's school lunches with handwritten notes reminding her she was loved. Despite exhaustion, Ethan protected her from the weight of adult struggles as much as possible. But children notice more than parents realize. Lily saw overdue bills hidden beneath kitchen drawers. She noticed her father skipping meals so she could eat properly. And she heard him quietly apologizing to creditors late at night after believing she had fallen asleep. Still, Ethan never stopped smiling for her. One afternoon, while passing through downtown Dallas after school, Lily spotted a silver luxury coupe displayed inside one of the city's most famous dealerships. Her eyes widened immediately as sunlight reflected across the polished showroom windows. She quietly admitted it was the most beautiful car she had ever seen. Ethan smiled softly despite the pain inside his chest. For the next several weeks, Lily kept talking about that dealership. Not because she expected anything expensive, but because she loved watching her father talk about cars again. For the first time in years, she noticed excitement return to his voice whenever he explained engines or design details. So on her birthday weekend, Ethan decided to take her there. Just to look. Just to let her dream for a little while. The dealership felt like another world compared to their tiny apartment and crowded repair garage. Marble floors reflected bright white lighting while luxury vehicles sat beneath massive glass displays like sculptures inside a museum. Lily walked carefully beside Ethan, holding his hand tightly while staring around in amazement. At first, nobody approached them. Then came the whispers. Salesmen exchanged glances after noticing Ethan's worn clothing and old truck parked outside. One employee quietly laughed while pointing toward the vehicle through the showroom window. Still, Ethan ignored it for Lily's sake. She wandered toward the silver coupe she admired weeks earlier and smiled brighter than Ethan had seen in months. That was when the salesman approached. Without even asking questions, the man immediately judged Ethan by appearance alone. He explained coldly that the dealership specialized in serious buyers only and suggested they visit more affordable lots nearby instead. Lily's face fell instantly. Ethan remained calm, quietly explaining they only wanted to look around for a few minutes. But the salesman only became more insulting. He pointed toward Ethan's boots, his truck, and his faded clothes while openly claiming people like him wasted staff time pretending to shop for cars they could never afford. Nearby customers watched silently. Some uncomfortable. Others amused. Lily looked humiliated standing beside her father while fighting tears. Ethan gently placed a hand on her shoulder and prepared to leave peacefully before the situation worsened. Then everything changed. From the far side of the showroom, dealership manager Daniel Brooks suddenly froze after noticing Ethan near the silver coupe. At first, Daniel looked confused. Then pale. Then completely stunned. Because years earlier, before Ethan lost everything, Daniel worked for him. Back when Ethan owned Carter Customs, Daniel was a struggling young mechanic nobody else would hire after repeated mistakes damaged his reputation. While others mocked him, Ethan trained him patiently, taught him advanced restoration skills, and eventually helped him secure opportunities inside luxury automotive dealerships. Without Ethan, Daniel knew his entire career would never exist. Now the man who once changed his life stood embarrassed inside his own showroom while employees mocked him publicly. Daniel moved quickly across the floor. The salesman immediately straightened, proudly expecting praise for removing unwanted visitors. Instead, Daniel walked directly toward Ethan with visible emotion in his eyes and said one word that silenced the entire dealership instantly. "Boss." The room fell completely silent. Customers stared in confusion. The salesman looked terrified. Daniel shook Ethan's hand respectfully while apologizing repeatedly for what happened. He introduced Ethan to stunned employees as the man who taught him everything he knew about automotive restoration and business integrity. The same father they judged moments earlier once built one of the most respected custom shops in Texas. The atmosphere inside the showroom changed immediately. But Ethan looked uncomfortable rather than proud. Because losing everything still haunted him deeply. Daniel quietly invited Ethan and Lily into his office away from the staring crowd. Over coffee and birthday cupcakes hurriedly brought for Lily, Daniel listened as Ethan slowly explained the painful years following Sarah's death. The business collapse, the endless debt, the lonely nights trying to survive while raising Lily alone. The more Daniel listened, the heavier his heart became. Because while successful people celebrated promotions and luxury lifestyles, the man who once helped others rise had quietly suffered alone. Meanwhile, Lily wandered through Daniel's office looking at framed photographs from dealership events. Then she stopped at one picture showing a younger Daniel standing proudly beside Ethan years earlier in front of a restored vintage Mustang. Her eyes widened. Because she had never seen her father look that happy before. That realization changed something inside Ethan too. For years, grief convinced him his best days disappeared forever alongside Sarah. But seeing that old photograph reminded him he was once more than survival and exhaustion. He was talented. Respected. Alive. Over the following weeks, Daniel kept contacting Ethan asking for advice on difficult restoration projects arriving at the dealership. Eventually Ethan agreed to help occasionally after work. Customers quickly noticed something remarkable about the quiet mechanic with grease-stained hands. Cars considered impossible to restore suddenly returned to life under Ethan's care. Word spread rapidly through Dallas luxury automotive circles. Collectors began requesting Ethan personally. Then came the moment nobody expected. During a major dealership anniversary event attended by wealthy investors and automotive executives, Daniel publicly announced the launch of a brand new custom restoration division. And he wanted only one person leading it. Ethan Carter. The same single father once humiliated near the showroom entrance walked onto the stage beside Lily while hundreds of guests applauded. Daniel spoke emotionally about loyalty, kindness, and the danger of judging people based on appearances alone. Then he revealed the new division's name. Carter Customs. Ethan struggled to hold back tears hearing the name he thought disappeared forever. But the most emotional moment came when Lily hugged him tightly afterward and whispered that her mother would be proud. For the first time in years, Ethan truly believed that might be true. Before this story ends, tell us in the comments. Have you ever been judged unfairly before someone discovered your true story? As city lights reflected softly across the dealership windows later that evening, Ethan parked the same old pickup truck outside the showroom once again. Only now, employees smiled proudly whenever they saw it arrive. Because they finally understood something important. A person's value is never measured by the condition of their clothes, or the car they drive. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs hope today. And subscribe to Moments Hub for more emotional stories that remind us kindness can completely change a life.